Oh, snap. We got Bob Seger. Cheese.
Just take those old records off the shelf.
Yeah.
I sit and listen to them by myself.
Hell no.
Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll.
What is going down, world? Welcome to the 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. I go by the name Black Pegasus, and today I'm checking out old time rock and roll, Bob Seger, yeah, and the Silver Bullet Band. Now, I've heard this song when I was young. This is one of the ones that would creep through on the radio, right? And I never really listened to the lyrics like in depth, but I do remember what I just heard. Something about the music doesn't have the same soul. Give me that old time rock and roll. And this is what's tripping me out. I didn't know Bob Seger was the person who made this song. It's actually very surprising because, I did a first-time reaction to Night Moves with Dawn. That's on the channel, which is epic. Turn the page. But then I didn't realize he wrote the Like a Rock song, right? So Like a Rock was like a Ford commercial, I think, for a Ford truck. And you'd hear that's commercial always, like a rock. But when you listen to that song, it's actually one of my favorite songs. Like, I'll play it when I'm driving to jiu-jitsu with my daughter. I'll play Like a Rock. I'll play like Tom Petty Won't Back Down, stuff to get my mind set ready for the training we're about to do. But I never would have put all this together. Like, I can't imagine how many hits he has. If he did old time rock and roll, and I don't know if he's the original. I don't know. I think this is the original. Like, he made the original. I have no clue. Because the sound reminds me for some reason of like, goodness gracious, great balls of fire type of vibe. Like it, and it's I get confused with this stuff. So that's why we're here today. If you're along for the ride, let's go. 40.
40-year-old boys are back in town. 40. Boys are back in town. 40-year-old boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, I'm getting the logo down and pulling the video up. Don't forget, support the original content on the channel. I put out music and music videos. I am a hip-hop artist. But along with that, I started a new channel, Pegasus vs. the World, where I take on challenges like vlog-style challenges, react to some comedy, trending topics, and travel. So, yeah, man, if y'all, trying to get my thing going over here. Want to support that? Dope. But all the music remains over here, the music reactions and my music. If you want access to these reactions early, there's a link in the description to our membership. Gives you that access. Again, there's no obligation. Let's get this moving, man. Freaking Bob Seger. This is crazy. I'm just tripping out. I never would have guessed that he made this song. And let's go. These pianos. He just comes in ripping.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Don't try to take me to a disco. You'll never even get me out on the floor. In 10 minutes I'll be late for the door. I like that old time rock and roll. Still like that old time rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old with that old time rock and roll.
Is this Southern rock?
Won't go to hear 'em.
Yo, okay, I got to listen to this in its entirety. But is this what I'd classify as Southern rock? This has a bounce to it. Well, not a bounce. I don't know. It just has something that makes you move. But this is a diss track, you guys. I'm from hip hop. I am from the rap world. This is a diss track. He dissed disco in this first verse. Yo, this is like if Grandpapa, right, just made a banging song dissing all the pop and stuff. That's just really funny to think about. now that I think about it. This is hard. This is crazy. I'm thinking about what he's saying. He's just like, yo, it don't have the same soul. Give me that old time rock and roll. And I guarantee almost everyone on my channel will agree with that. And there is something about soul records, soul music in general, some of the later stage music that does give you this feeling where you're like, what is this? That's why I react to most of this type of stuff on the channel. Anyways, I love it. But this is a legit diss track. He's dissing disco in the first verse. He's like, man, I ain't getting on I don't dance to disco. F that. Give me something that soothes the soul, baby. Some soul food. Some chicken noodle soup. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, yo, let's go. This tango?
Call me a relic, call me what you will.
Okay.
Say I'm old fashioned, say I'm over the hill. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Still like that old time rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old with that old time rock and roll.
Oh, they got a saxophone? And the Silver Bullet Band? Sheesh. Yo, so he said tango, but you know, I actually relate to this because, you know, I'm an older cat in the hip hop world, the realm, right? And hip hop is a very young sport, right? So like us older heads, which I'm not that old, right? I'm 44, but still, like in hip hop, that's ancient. You know what I'm saying? And I feel everything he said in that part. Like what he was saying, I was like, yeah, man. Yeah, you can call me old, homie, but I like boom bap backpack hip hop. Like I don't really like that much modern stuff. I don't get into all the drill and the trap and the blah, the grime. Like it's just not my thing. Everything he said in that last stanza hit home. It hit home, and this is from a hip hop kid, a hip hop dude. Like I'm like, nah, I don't like the new rap, man. Give me some of that old soulful hip hop, you know, with the soul samples and the real lyrics and the real messaging, you know. That's just me. So I'm actually relating to what he's saying, and he probably low-key would diss hip-hop in this type of track. Like, I don't want a boogie-woogie. I want rock and roll. I don't want a tango. I want rock and roll. I don't want disco. I want rock and roll. And disco, whatever, Sound Hall or whatever from Jamaica, these things are what fused to create hip-hop. So I just think this is tight, like, because he's standing on his own. He's standing on his values, his principles in a sense. Maybe not values and principles, but he's standing on what he likes. And he's like, there's no exception. And when people stand up like that, I'm like, oh, that's tight. That's tight. You know, good for him. He's like, you can call me this, you can call me that. This is what I like. That's tight, man. And people are scared to do that these days. It's all so political out there. I'm like, this is tight.
Rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old.
And
with that old time of rock and roll. Still like that old time of rock and roll. That kind of music just soothes my soul. I reminisce about the days of old. With that old time of rock and roll. I still like that old time of rock and roll.
Bobby. We got the same name. My name's Robert. Hey, Bob. Y'all can call me Bob Pegasus from here on out. Bob Pegasus. Anyways, Bob Seger never fails to disappoint. I promise you guys. Well, if you guys show up for this, we'll definitely react to more Bob Seger and things that I have not heard from him, because I heard that and never really digested like even the disco stuff. But it's like that song I've heard, like it's just so familiar. Like even when he said disco, I was like, oh yeah, I did hear that part before. But what are we gonna get after next? I don't know. But we've done Night Moves, Turn the Page, Like a Rock, and now Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm still surprised. I never knew that he was the one who made old time rock and roll. That's crazy, actually, to me. I don't know who I thought it was. I have no clue, man. But hey, let me know what I got, what I missed. I hope you're having a good day. Today was really just about the vibe. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'll catch you on the next one. 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ, boy.